All right, we're going back onto this. We learned nothing from last game, guys. Mad Lions learned nothing.
Mad Lions Koi are going to have to dissect and deal with.
It's also something that when Caps has this Azir, he tends to play a huge amount of side lane. They're an opportunity to play
mid lane. They could consider a Renata right
All right, so we are playing Taliyah here into Azir. That means, guys, if I'm G2, you now know that Azir is not going to be a good form of primary engage, even if you build defensive items, because you're going to get tripped up by the Taliyah. So now we have to think about what other forms of primary engage we're going to have. It's going to be Nautilus. Should be Nautilus right here.
Nautilus. So like
yes. So you see the Taliyah, you immediately take the Nautilus. So you actually do have Nautilus ult and hook as primary engage. Need something into Taliyah that doesn't require you dashing in. Braum and Tom Kench, yes, makes sense. Even though Vi is already banned. You don't want them to flex this. You're hoping that it's actually in the bot side. Viego.
We weren't sure about other stuff he played, but we knew he could play Viego.
I mean, it was outside into invade, but Yoya gonna take the...
Wow, Belveth. Interesting. So it is going to be rel support. Alvaro was not amazing on the rel support in game number 1. They do have a lot of pressure in top side, particularly around the grubs. Like this reads to me like we are fucking playing top side, and that this lane is going to weak side and bot and get pushed in. But we want to play for grubs and Herald, right? Maybe they have an interesting level 1 planned.
Not that I expect that to happen. Hang on a minute. Don't tease us.
Wait a second.
No, you don't talk about the hovers.
Yeah, but I can think about them, and I'm thinking, wait a second. Wait a second. Okay, Kennen into the Rumble would be a pretty conventional option. Obviously, you can try to match some of that team fighting power. Range matchup also going to feel pretty good. Not a champion I've seen a lot. This is normally
I feel like we've seen it.
So the Kennen, I think, works really well with the team composition that they're running here. Again, it's a form of primary engage. So Kennen doesn't require a dash, right? I mean, he can if he takes Protobelt, right? But he's also going to be flanking. So they're trying to find ways. Taliyah is a very strong pick right now. And I think it does take creativity to play around the Taliyah pick in the draft, especially if you need engage. So now they have Nautilus engage. You know, Viego has some degree of engage. And you have a Kennen flank engage that isn't reliant on dashing over Taliyah's E. And the Kennen also good because it sets up a lot of single target crowd control. You also have Chains of Corruption, very important. This is a lot of single target crowd control. Chains of Corruption, Nautilus ult, Viego stun, right? To start the Viego snowball in team fights.
Is about to get kicked out of the league. He starts playing Kennen, and that's usually where those 1 or 2 picks come.
2 esports, a lot of long range. They do have decent engage. I think that the Azir going to be used to match on any potential sideline threat that the Taliyah is going to be posing, the roam threat. I think Mad Lions Koi are investing their resources towards bot lane play, though.
Lucian is a bait pick no matter the region. No, it's not. It's actually quite good. Even on 14-2, go watch BLG play it, man. It's just really hard to do well. That's the issue. It's a tough champ to play, and you have to play it well as a team.
Mickey X and BB setting up for the big team fight engage together. And if you can play that disruption, I think Mad Lions Koi have an opportunity to kind of deal with Kennen as he comes in, especially with the exhaust that Alvaro is taking. You exhaust Kennen, deal with Kennen. You already have that separated fight because Fresco is playing on a wing, and maybe you can take the fights that way. So I think there's going to be a lot of cool opportunities to
Koi and G2 esports. It's the best of 3 left in front of us. Who can be the first to find those 2 wins?
Let's watch MDK's level 1 here. Moving into the fog of war. Frescowi was spotted out by Yike.
If Lucian is so good, then why is it only 20% win rate in the LCS? Well, a lonely observer, because you're a troll. That's such obvious bait, man.
Yeah.
you got to be better at the bait.
As to where Yike is starting. Love the fact that we're seeing both Yike and Eljoya on these carry junglers. Two junglers that have risen to prominence over the last few years in Europe. We see a very deep invade coming out from Alvaro. Belveth has made her way into the jungle. Seeing if they can maybe find a collapse onto Broken Blade, but he realizes that he is in danger. He's already moved up to the lane, started with his E. Neowin not going to find anything. So no level 1 plate found by MDK. Just a bit of vision invested and information gained. A ward dropped by Yike on the on his own red to see if that is being stolen away by Eljoya.
Of course, a lot of tension here in these first few levels. Both games have essentially been snowballed from very early points.
They did get a deep ward into the bot side here, though.
Thus far, we'll see if this game's a little bit more even.
It's going to be very helpful for G2.
Terror that has defined both games. This time G2 were given it freely. Mad Lions Koi, a lot of faith in Supa on this Senna.
Why doesn't a single Varus in the West go on hit? I think it depends on your composition and the enemy composition. They do not need on hit damage. There's not really a tank on Bad Lions. And again, we're not seeing Rel be the one farming here. It's going to be Senna. So I think lethality just has higher value. Plus, it gives you more potency in the early game, and they want to play through pushing in the bot side for sure. It's not really a reason to go on hit Varus here, in my opinion.
For when they're pushed against the wall. We saw yesterday, game 5, it was, hey, we're going to bring out the brand for Eljoya.
There definitely are times where you should do it, though. Playing Varus into Senna is about taking Hail of Blades, lethality, and then bullying her in lane.
So I'm curious now if this is going to be the moment where Eljoya can try and come alive here and find his moment to get in on Yike. Like, you have push in mid, but that's kind of your only opportunity. So for Eljoya...
Yeah, you have Azir, you have Kennen, you have Viego. Viego's a high damage jungler. You actually just don't need on hit here. What you need is to push the bot lane. Doran's Blade start for Kennen, pretty standard in harass matchups. Very good, as you can see. Third wave crash in the top side. Viego doing a full clear. They saw this because there was a ward here. They know he went Raptors red into Krugs. Then came down. He's seen the whole time. Walks down to clear out bot side. Now, G2 also knows that Yike is... Or that Eljoya is pathing top side because they saw his red start.
Pretty well for themselves. Honestly, we saw both lane phases end in the first 3 levels in terms of early advantages. So already going much more smoothly for the side of MD.
That's why we're seeing a recall here after a third wave crash from Broken Blade, is because he knows there's a danger of a possible Belveth engage, so he's going to get a kind of cheater recall in here and avoid the potential of a gank. He's going to go back and buy Amp Dome. All right. Walk it back to lane. No level 3 for Mickey X yet. He's probably like 1 minion away. Nope, not quite 1 minion.
Super now trying to follow up. Yike not quite going to connect on the stun. Alvaro now running. Curse of the Black Mist, keeping him shrouded for just a moment there. And G2 not going to find much of anything other than some summoners.
Good job by Super and Alvaro to try and avoid that. I did misspeak. They should have pushed on bot side because Rel very good into the Nautilus. And just be
Shrouded for just a goal. Crowd comes out. Flash hook.
Yeah, he actually buffers the Rel stun.
For the side of MDK in this game 3.
Yike sees a gank angle.
Crowd comes out. Flash hook.
It's nice.
Follow up. Yike not quite going to connect on the stun. Alvaro now running. Curse of the Black Mist, keeping
Still draws out the flash and the ignite, though, so decent. Same thing for Mickey X. Even trade of summoners.
They should have pushed on bot side because Rel very good into the Nautilus. And just being able to abuse that fact, they can buy space there.
Mirrored jungling. So both players now going into opposite side Scuttles, and then probably opposite side Raptors. Yep.
Definitely is. Riptide not going to connect on Alvaro there. You can see just sweeping out. Catch a little bit of vision.
Eljoya already there on the respawn of the Raptors.
I mean, so is Yike. They're perfectly mirrored in their path.
They really are.
But Eljoya's just a little bit ahead on his trip to mid lane.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, but look at the collapse from Alvaro as well, recognizing that Yike was making this play.
Dash in, flash out from Yike, quick.
Nice. He Alvaro hex flashes here.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, but look at the collapse from Alvaro as well, recognizing that Yike was making this play.
Nice hex flash, forces flash out of Yike.
Tries to sidestep the stun from Alvaro, but he doesn't throw it out. Nice small advantage gained by MDK. Good use of that early ward to spot what he was up to. And again, we mentioned it earlier, really excited to see both these players. Oh, nice flip back. He's getting very low.
Damage from Frescowi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the third volley. Mostly going to hit the minions there. Caps has to play very safe.
We've been casting Caps for many years now. He's a man that loves to hold his flash until the very edge. And it's caught many mid laners off guard. They sit there and like they overstay. Maybe they think, oh, you know, I can actually get him. He's within kill range. And then sometimes he's been able to punish them as a result of that. But Frescowi showing that respect, knows he's going to force him back.
The advantages here and have that level advantage over Yike. It makes it very difficult for Yike to contest you if you go for that play.
Will move over to the Gromp as Mickey X returns to the bottom side of the map. Reset from Supa is there. You can see Alvaro will not head straight back to lane instead, potentially fishing for a play in the mid lane. Both mid laners reset. I definitely like the Lost Chapter purchase for Frescowi a bit more. Obviously, whenever you're running Nashers first, the purchases are a bit cheaper, but a bit more awkward sometimes in terms of their impact in lane.
Alvaro just helping get the push out in mid means that Frescowi can be in a position to assist Elyor in securing these grubs. This forces Broken to play on the defensive as well, knowing that his jungler's on the bot side of the map bit. The vision was already set up by G2. 2 control wards invested in the bot river. Gains that information, makes the cross map a reality. This Void Grub's a really nice pickup for the Belveth in particular. Plate secured in bot lane, but overall...
Yeah, so they're playing around the sides of the map that it looked like they wanted to, just based on this draft. That's why we see the Void Grubs being taken in exchange for the Drake. It's a very split map situation in this game, which is what you would infer from the way the draft played out. But it's good to see it actually operating in person this way. No weird shenanigans that made the game do things it wasn't supposed to do.
He's on that top end, and he's the one that's actually stole away. He's going to be able to steal away the red buff as it respawns here as well. So Yike not getting his foot clear on this bottom side because he went straight for Dragon now. Won't be able to go for the invade onto the red, and I think this is where Elyoya is going to slowly start to creep ahead when it comes to the jungle. You can already see level 6 versus level 5.
Supa and Alvaro respected that Yike could be on the bot side of the map. The ping came out from Elyoya to indicate...
Yike's 6 now, though. He's 1 camp behind, realistically. It's not that bad.
Alvaro moving back into his side of the jungle. He's going to go see what information he can
It's not that bad for Yike, considering that...
Caps flip back there. Elyoya immediately
Whoops.
follow. First blood for Mad Lions Koi.
Oh, it didn't feel like flashing out, I guess.
He'll spot the red buff still up.
Caps flip back there.
I guess he wanted to die instead of flashing. Okie dokie.
For Mad Lions Koi. Senna, although the fact that Senna gets that kill is massive as well.
Cap's a player that often plays on the edge. Sometimes you slip. And that was a really nice knockoff by Frescowi. A great team play setup. Actually hands the kill over to Supa, and MDK draw first blood.
And it's just a nice transitional gank from Elyoya. He knew that Yike had to go back, clears 2 camps were in his jungle and go for the reset. And now Frescowi was hovering up towards his top side, but he only wanted to get down to his bot side to protect his own camps because Hansam and Mickey had gone for a reset. Go back.
I think he still dies if he flashes. No. He should flash the W.
And as you'll notice, Alvaro moving back into his side of the jungle. He's going to go see what information he can garner. He'll spot the red buffs.
You can see it. You just flash this way. He doesn't die. He has ult.
Immediately going to follow. First blood for Mad Lions Koi. Senna, although the fact that Senna gets that kill is massive as well.
Cap's a player that often plays on the edge. Sometimes you slip. And that was a really nice knockoff by Frescowi. A great team play setup, actually hands the kill over to Supa, and MDK draw first blood.
And it's just a nice transitional gank from Elyoya. He knew that Yike had to go back, clears 2 camps were in his jungle and go for the reset. And now Frescowi was hovering up towards his top side, but he only wanted to get down to his bot side to protect his own camps because Hansam and Mickey had gone for a reset. Maybe you can try and invade as Yike, but now Yike realizes he has nothing but his Krugs in his top side, and Elyoya is going to start to very quickly keep this lead going. So if these 2 junglers meet, this is where MDK have their lead.
Frescowi, of course, has the semi-global pressure of the Weaver's Wall. the potential for playmaking as he gets more wave clear, as he can get ahead of Caps in that eternal wave clear battle, is just going to continue to mount in the favor of Mad Lions Koi. Yes, Mirwin is losing out on top lane pressure, but that Rumble ult can still be incredibly impactful in the fights to come. Another flick back connecting. Alvaro ready to follow up.
Caps?
Did he burn the dash? It looks like he did. Now
Okay.
finally going to use it out to safety. Exhaust ticking. Super desperate to get the final kill here, Yike. Can still be incredibly impactful in the fights to come. Another flick back connecting. Alvaro ready to follow up. Caps waiting. Did he burn the dash? It looks like he did. Now finally going to use it out to safety. Exhaust ticking. Super desperate to get the final kill here, Yike. Stepping forward. Hoping to just disrupt a little bit. Caps will walk away, but he's already lost so much life.
Talia's too good right now. Team should not be allowed to have Talia. This champion is broken.
Moved in towards topside with Yike, but because MDK collapse on mid, they push Caps back. Ayoya get its full topside, and now Broken Blade is overextended.
Broken Blade overextending. Flash forward from Mirwin. Has just overheated himself. Broken Blade should be able to walk away to safety. G2 holding on. Caps sticking around despite the blinking health bar. This gives Broken Blade overextending. Flash forward from Mirwin. Has just overheated himself.
I was like, what is he talking about? And then I didn't realize there was a picture-in-picture.
Ayoya get its full topside, and now Broken Blade is overextended.
Broken Blade overextending. Flash forward from Mirwin. Has just overheated himself. Broken Blade should be able to walk away to safety. G2 holding on. Caps sticking around despite the blinking health bar.
This gives an opportunity for Hansama to push in the bot wave. MDK are able to get a plate in mid, but honestly, I think they overcommitted their resources. It's a huge wave that someone needs to catch. Yike in a bit of danger.
Flash forward, knockup is big from Elyoya. Can't quite finish the kill.
Another exchange of flashes. MDK putting a lot of pressure down, though. Flashes being used across the board. I'm impressed that Cap still hasn't been forced to flash, but in the midst of all of that, Broken Blade committed his ultimate into a top lane skirmish, forcing a lot of pressure down onto Mirwin, and ultimately ends up just being a flash for flash.
Hasn't been forced to flash, but did die with flash available.
Yes,
so has just chosen not to flash and chose death instead. Just to be clear here.
G2 though, rotating Hansama and Mickey up towards his top side. They want to try and contest for this next set of grubs. I'm curious to see if MDK read this though. You can see Supa starting to reset. I think he should go top here.
That's the same playbook they had with the Varus in the last game.
To see where Hansama and Mickey will be spotted, 'cause
So here we go. Let's see if Mad Lions actually reacts to it this time. They're going to be behind when it comes to map pressure in the top side and in the bot side.
Now we're going to go contest mid wave instead, so they can lean in through mid rather than contesting the push on top side.
Super approaching.
Yeah, just a little bit late to this play though.
They're committing a lot of resources to the top side of the map. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, Broken Blade pushing in. Someone will eventually have to catch that wave. Pressure on the top side of the map would normally favor G2, but Mad Lions Koi willing to commit a ton of resources just to ensure that the grubs will go down in their favor. G2 don't have a man advantage here. Broken Blade on the bottom side has to recoup some of this advantage. They're willing to concede that gold. Now they've caught out Yike. Threaded volley coming in. Yike can't just ult to safety. He is unstoppable. But the root's still connecting.
Oh.
Broken Blade on the bottom side has to recoup some of this advantage. They're willing.
Man, Frescovi's on point with these W's.
Threaded volley coming in. Yike can't just ult to safety. He is unstoppable. But the root's still connecting, and the follow-up is
Damn.
there.
Well played.
Super, the Spanish sniper, just finding it point blank with the ulti.
MDK are just playing significantly better. And
He is unstoppable. But the root's still connecting, and the follow-up is there.
It is funny though, because if you guys didn't see this, he actually steals a Void Grub with E. Look at this. Varus. Q. E. So he prevents them from getting 6.
Super, the Spanish sniper, just finding it point blank with the ulti.
MDK are just playing significantly better.
Frescovi, that's good. I like that.
To move their members up, push through mid, they pick off Yike, and this is, I mean, look at the gap that's in the jungle. It's nearly 600 gold. This is absolutely absurd, and now the problems start to come through where Yike just won't be anywhere near strong enough to try and move in towards these fights. You got 2 kills on towards Supa, who's going to be an absolute menace. And you've got control now where you can go for the reset, finish off your Kraken Slayer, and come back out as Dragon's going to be on the map. Although Ayoya going towards his camps may actually give time to G2 to maybe pick Mirren and also look for a Dragon themselves.
Mickey on the way down. Yike on the way down. Broken Blade ulti in the bush, ready to go. Should just proc it immediately here to find the stun on Mirwin. Mirwin can try to throw down the equalizer, but should not be enough. Just trying to buy a bit more time here, get a bit more damage down. TP is available.
They should give this to Yike if possible.
Buying as much time as he can, dashing around.
Oh, they're giving it to Hans. Okay.
Walk up and pick up this kill, just get donated this one. So
a bit messy from G2. They had to commit 4 members. Ultimately, they do get a kill. They should unlock the dragon for them as well. But on the top side of the map, Super's going to be able to grab himself a bunch of plates, and the entire top side jungle is available for Elyoya to pick apart. The red is about to respawn as well. So Mad Lions Koi not going to be too upset.
It's supposed to be Mirwin, apparently.
More gold over the Hansama. Super having a much healthier early game compared to what we saw in game 2.
Also having the 5 grub buff is big just for shredding these towers, because again, Senna's threat onto towers is not normally significant. However, that extra damage over time is definitely paying off for the side of Mad Lions Koi. In the previous game, Mad Lions Koi were behind on every single rotation as the resets from G2 were just better, but this time around, Mad Lions Koi playing it so much better equipped as well to respond to G2.
I think a huge amount of that.
This is going pretty well for MDK because, you know, they have the 5 grubs, so they're able to take this turret from 5 plates all the way down to 1, and they still have a minute in order to kill this turret.
That's going to be the next big protocol, because if you can get that for Belvet, obviously massive for her. And just trying to keep control of this top side with the amount of vision that they have. Looking at Caps, but I don't think he'd be able to get the flick back here. Alvaro is waiting in the wings. Maybe it's actually just to rotate everyone top. And BB doesn't have his flash up and available. This could be a great timing attack.
X caught out here. Sidestep is clean. Hook onto the minion, not ideal. 2-man knockup. Aftershock procs, flashing out to safety. Exhaust still ticking. Broken Blade. How much are they willing to give to keep
Mickey just inting?
Not a lot. Kill going down. Elyoya instantly going to transform. True Aftershock proc.
And BB doesn't have his flash up and available. This could be a great timing attack.
What's he doing here?
I think he'd be able to get the flick back here. Alvaro is waiting in the wings. Made that for Belvet, obviously massive for her. And just trying to keep control of this top side with the amount of vision that they have.
So he pops the Scryer's Bloom, doesn't see anybody, walks into River, and then recalls here. Okie dokie.
Get the flick back here. Alvaro is waiting in the wings. Maybe it's actually just to rotate everyone top. And BB doesn't have his flash up and available. This could be a great timing attack.
Caught out here. Sidestep is clean. Hook onto the minion, not ideal. 2-man knockup. Aftershock procs, flashing out to safety. Exhaust still ticking. Broken Blade.
And he flashes.
To keep Mickey alive. The answer is not a lot. Kill going down. Elyoya instantly going to transform. True form now unleashed. And priority access to the Herald in 27 seconds as well.
I mean, Dagda's done a great job of breaking it down, but MDK have just dominated this early game largely thanks to some great pathing. Super, as he overstayed.
Cancel on the base. Super desperate to try and get a kill back. Broken Blade is still standing. Yike now on
it down, but MDK have just dominated this early game largely thanks to some great pathing. Super, as he overstayed.
Cancel on the base. Super desperate to try and get a kill back.
Dagda's done a great job of breaking.
Well, he thought he thought his base was going to get canceled by Broken Blade when but the Protobelt hit the minion wave, so it wasn't going to get canceled. But I think he canceled it because he thought that it was going to get canceled by the dash, the bolts from the Protobelt.
Big shutdown for the side of G2.
Small misstep from Super there, thinking that he could get a kill back onto Broken Blade. He comes very close to getting it.
I think he felt he had to trade because his back was going to get interrupted by Protobelt, and he was just wrong. It hit the minion wave instead.
Still living. Damage not quite there. Hansama, how much left on the piercing arrow? Mickey now the one who's been caught out. Elyoya's instantly there to follow up. Mad Lions Koi. Mickey X.
Kill back onto Broken Blade. He comes very close to getting it, but he does not expect Yike to be in the area. Frescowie now on a ward.
Frescowie, ulti over the wall is big. Mickey X is there as well.
Forces flash. I mean, he did Mickey hex flashed over the wall. But you don't have any pressure, and you don't have a jungler there. He's up at Krugs, so you die instead.
On the piercing arrow, Mickey now the one who's been caught out. Elyoya's instantly there to follow up. Mad Lions Koi ahead in the play.
And there's nothing that they can do to try and answer for this. I think BB has to try and reset, but there's no word for him to really TP into. So what almost was G2 finding the pick on Super. And
yes, and Anslea used flash. True. So Mickey died twice, but he got 2 flashes. Worth? I guess Mickey didn't get the first flash. That was Broken Blade. And Yike.
They have the Herald now to unlock that mid tower against an Azir. That's incredibly valuable. Yike trying to steal back a red buff for himself. I believe he didn't have the smite available, and now Mickey could be in danger again.
Root there, Elyoya ready to follow up. Knockup is there, and Mickey's just gonna go down.
That's 3 deaths in a row for Mickey.
Valuable. Yike trying to steal
Guess he thinks he's safe because Yike and Caps are here. But they bail on him immediately while he's clearing wards.
And now Mickey could be in danger again.
Root there. Ready to
Oh, the roots. Oh, Silva is so strong.
And this is not the Senate we saw in the first 2 games. Supa scaling.
He's just spent the last like 2 minutes just being dead.
Looking like a powerhouse, essentially even in itemization with the Varus, and you can see just leveraging that range so incredibly well.
The amount of Void Remora that are here is absolutely absurd because of the second charge as well. This tower gonna fall.
No.
Oh, TP behind though.
Caps looking for the flank, desperate to get something back, looking for the push back onto Supa. Will catch him out. Hansama now trying to follow, but the Weaver's Wall stops the follow-up coming in from the rest of G2. Hex Flash in from Mickey X, but it might be too little too late. Knockup is there. Yeah, Caps is trying to
Big ult by Broken Blade. Can they get resets? Viego resets? Yes, yes, yes. Talia? Yes. This is what you wanted for G2.
Broken Blade desperate to get the stun. Only 1 stack will be forced back. G2 lose their tower, but get some kills. Get taken down. G2 Hex Flash.
They needed to get this Viego rolling. He's so important to the fights. Cap's actually just going to sacrifice himself right here to get the kill. Right?
Oh, TP behind though.
Caps looking for the flank, desperate to get
Supa doesn't have flash, so Caps just slides in, pushes Supa in. He can't do anything in this team fight. Broken Blade already here, does not have to TP, does have flash himself. Flash, Proto Belt, Rock Belt, whatever.
He's now taking away Frescowi's body. Alvaro gonna get taken down as well. Resets coming in left and right. Hansama now looking to follow up. Blood in the water. G2 hunting for more.
The wall was good. It could have been a lot worse if that wall wasn't there from Talia.
Frescowi with an incredible wall to shut down the flank from Caps. Unfortunately ends in disaster as Broken Blade finds his way into the fight and gets a huge ultimate to turn it into G2's favor. Keep your eyes on this TP flank from Caps. It could have been a great setup, but Frescowi, that wall was
It was a really good wall.
incredible. The problem then becomes
Mickey X just tries to Hex Flash it.
The left side of your screen. Mirwin is trying to keep him away as Mickey goes in. That ultimate stuns up so many people. Yike gets that initial reset.
Yeah, he targets Supa and Frescovi immediately without flashes.
Wall gave them false confidence. It was so good, but it meant that they overextended then after.
Yeah, they don't have two. They didn't realize there were 2 people on the flanks.
But Supa had already burnt his flash. He had no way to try and get out of that, and he ends up falling in the exchange. And now with 45 seconds until Dragon, MDK control the area, but G2, they have members all over the place and come from multiple angles.
MDK learning firsthand that they're going to have to get more respect over to the side of that Kennen. Mirwin can mark Kennen, but he can't stop him from getting into the fight. He is not enough of a threat. He does not have the CC.
Exhaust is up from now, though, to these fights, so
Tower, Mad Lion's Koi.
definitely going to be spotted. But what can G2 try and find here?
Wards did G2 really have for him to TP down? I meant for Broken Blade.
Yeah.
He does not really have a lot of options. He's pushing in top tower. Here comes the TP. It's not the best flank. Alvaro spots it out.
On the control ward as well. Easy to
Vicky
see.
now on the flank.
Broken Blade.
Doesn't have the
set up for
flash,
the 5v5
remember.
is real. Currently, we're just set up for the 50-50. Broken Blade off to the side. Flick back, not quite going to connect. Crucially, G2 now stepping forward. Weaver's Wall comes in, but the Dragon already down. Yo-Yo manages to grab that one. Alvaro now running, but Broken Blade losing out in the individual 1v1. Mirwin trying to make the hero moment. Stops the flank from coming through, but
Sent
MDK
ult.
need to get the hell out. They've already got what they came for. Caps not fishing for the push. He's going to get
Nice.
it.
Onto Frescovi.
And the rest of the team now unleashed. Yo-Yo. Maybe he has the damage. The retreat now coming through. Supa needs to run. They need to get the hell out, but Yike is chasing through. Ulti reset is there if he wants it. He's taking his time. He turns right back.
This is actually this is very awkward because they commit so many resources to dealing with Broken Blade here that this turns into a 50-50. You know, this turns into a 50-50. You use Talia E and W, and then you actually just wall them here, but you're not in position to deal any kind of damage. Like, you're not in close enough range. You don't have Talia E and W, and you allow Mirwin just to fight 1v2 on the flank. The thing is, once these resets start for Viego, they're very, very, very difficult to stop. It's beautiful.
G2 find the fight that they need. Mad Lion's Koi. They all turn on to Broken Blade, which gives the rest of G2 the room they need in River to push up, to sandwich them, and find the engage that they want with Caps. Just a cherry on top with that shuffle.
You keep your eyes on Broken Blade as he's trying to find this flank, but MDK are doing...
Frescovi misplays this. I don't think he should be using WE here. Because the thing is, by using E, you really just allow Caps to come in whenever he wants to.
But then G2 turn their attention. Mirwin, who is isolated, loses his life. Then the resets come through for Yike. This wall looks good initially as Broken Blade is losing his life. He's forced to use.
But you're not actually dealing any damage while this wall is going on. Meanwhile, G2 is dealing damage. E goes in the choke points, no longer a threat for Caps. He's Nautilus ulted. You actually hit both of them with the Azir wall.
And then it becomes a matter of cleanup for G2. MDK do get the dragon. Unfortunately, the cost might not have been worth it.
Certainly not. And again, I feel like Mad Lions Koi getting these leads, but then learning firsthand some of the strengths of G2's composition. They finally respected the Kennen, but then they underestimated what a Viego can do. The resets coming through, allowing G2 to take over that fight. Certainly Caps as well. Mad Lions Koi just need to be a bit cleaner in the execution. The first wall in the previous exchange in mid, close to perfect. This one a bit lackluster. Need more from these picks because Caps is just getting stronger and stronger. It's 66 gold ahead. It doesn't matter too much, but we know what Azir can do in the late game fights.
It's the fact that Yike has been pulled back into this game, though. You're slipping 600, 700, 800 gold behind, but now with 4 kills, this Viego is a beast and definitely a force to be reckoned with. And now especially if Broken Blade can get in, like all he has to do is get members low for Yike to finish off. This combo for G2 is so incredibly strong, but I think that's why Mad Lions Koi have to, if they can zone BB out, jump on the rest of the team. BB's out of the equation, that's fantastic. You just want to keep him away, and as long as you can get on for it.
Thank you, Salty Weekend, for your resubscription. I appreciate it.
You were talking about Yike and how he's back into the game. Big fan of this Viego build of the Kraken Slayer into Titanic Hydra into then just more HP. You can either go for the Black Cleaver or you can go for something like the Sterax. But initially it's very squishy, but it's a lot of damage. You know, you can have your auto attack into Q, into Titanic, into like it's a lot of burst damage that can catch a lot of people off guard. Gives him a lot of dueling prowess as well. And if he does run into that Velvet, I'm curious as to who actually has the advantage in the 1v1. Speaking of, Elyoya may have caught Caps out.
Caps are using the shifting sand, no dash available. Elyoya. Empowered blast coming to follow up. Caps now in trouble. Push back under the tower. Caps trying to dash his way out to safety. Elyoya, flash back in. Wants to keep the train rolling. Reset ulti now coming in, but Yike is there for the follow-up. Elyoya may have just given his life, but Mirwin on the way to cover. G2 should just back away here.
Nice play from Elyoya.
Safety, Elyoya, flash back in. Wants to keep the train rolling. Reset ulti now coming in, but Yike is there for the follow-up. Elyoya may have just given his life, but Mirwin on the way to cover. G2 should just back away. Push back under the...
Speaking of, Elyoya may have caught Caps out.
Caps are using the shifting sand, no dash available.
Gets on the other side of Caps so he can't escape. Then he has the Senna ult. Nice setup.
Wants to keep the train rolling. Reset ulti now coming in, but Yike is there for the follow-up. Elyoya may have just given his life, but Mirwin on the way to cover. G2 should just back away here.
Nice play from Elyoya, utilizing the environment Blast Clone to get in front of Caps, even though Caps still doesn't flash, by the way.
Elyoya is so good.
Get an opportunity that time round as Elyoya flashes back over the wall and shuts him down. Closes that kill gap ever so slightly, but the gold continues to remain dead even.
And I think this is a huge opportunity for Mad Lions Koi to show us more of what they've got in the mid-game. G2, the mid-game terrors, yes, most certainly, but if Mad Lions Koi can navigate this, it builds so much faith in them as we continue further into this series. This is not match point. There will be more games to follow, and if they can outclass G2 in mid-game, might even start to look like series favorites.
This is where I think you've got the opportunity for G2 to get vision control on top side. You'll trade tower for tower. So yes, the kill goes across in favor of Mad Lions Koi, but it's going to be an even trade on map states with the cross map coming through for G2. So this is where you kind of got to go, okay, everyone in G2 top side, right, we are making a decision. Are we playing for Dragon or are we playing for Baron? With where Alvaro's positioned, it looks like they're going to try and set up for vision on the Baron, or at least make sure G2 can't go for the counter punch towards Baron. And Elyoya, no words in his back pocket, but can at least start clearing out that vision to make sure that as MDK move down, they can get vision control on the spot side for the Dragon in 35 seconds.
Vision placed in the mid lane, potentially a future flanking ward if MDK can find the angle. G2 trying to retake some control over the map, fighting for mid prio here. Veil procced on Supa. We'll have to just back away there, Edge of Night. Both sides can shred a Baron if left unattended, so have to be careful. Group up in the mid lane onto Alvaro. Ulti now going down. Elyoya fishing for a little bit of follow-up. Instant burst damage going in favor of G2, but there's the follow-up coming from Broken Blade. Not working whatsoever. MDK happy to punish Equalizer raining down from the sky. Ike getting the reset down. Back away there, edge of night. Both sides can shred a Baron if left unattended. So have to be careful. Group up in the mid lane onto Alvaro. Ulti now going down. Elio fishing for a little bit of follow-up. Instant burst damage going in favor of G2, but there's the follow-up coming for Broken Blade. Not working whatsoever. MDK. Group up in the mid lane onto Alvaro. Ulti now going down. Elio fishing for a little bit of follow-up.
What's the flip there?
Shred a Baron if left unattended.
Alvaro's up. Oh.
Group up in the mid lane onto Alvaro.
Sets up for a really nice WE.
For a little bit of follow-up. Instant burst damage going in favor of G2, but there's the follow-up coming for Broken Blade. Not working whatsoever. MDK happy to punish. Equalizer raining down from the sky. Ike getting the reset. That's a shutdown. Mickey now running out to safety. Another kill coming through. Elio can start to farm these resets. Mirror overheating, but Hansama, can he handle him in the 1v1? Flashing out to safety. Arrow going down.
Yike resetting though. Yike resetting.
He finds another Caps off to the side. Elio needs to get the kill on the Caps. Caps flashing out to safety. Yike still has the reset up and available. 1v1. Yike versus Elio. Yike desperate, and he will get
Smote.
the kill. He will get the shutdown.
The smite comes through, and it's Yike who gets revenge against Elyoya. And now on the hunt, Frescowi has nowhere to go.
Multi reset is there. Goes in, gets stunned.
Nice, dude.
Chasing Frescowi versus Yike. Empowered blast.
This is the scary thing about these Viego comps, guys. We see these a lot in Korea. But Viego, when he gets rolling in some of these fights, can be an absolute menace. TPN. Broken Blade gonna get the easy pickup here.
Quick kill here, quick kill pickup. Massive death timer now, 42 seconds. G2, what can they get done with it?
What a crazy fight in the mid lane. Broken Blade's ultimate not doing the damage that G2 needed it to do.
Pioshik on Viego, yeah, or Cuz on Viego. Those are the big Viego players that we have in LCK.
That really saved the fight for G2. They will secure their third dragon of the game, but there's a window for Baron here for MDK.
Main source of damage is going to be Elyoya. They need to wait for him to get there. MDK going to start it up. Mirwin is going to do a lot of work here. No TP on Kennen, and Kennen and Mickey have just gone back to base. G2 don't realize Cap's going to try and get a ward down here.
They just spotted it out with the blast cone, with the Scourge Bloom, excuse me. Know that this is coming. TP now used. Man advantage for the side of MDK. Are they willing to risk the 50-50? Yike ultimate up and available. Can't go over the wall. They need to. 3K getting lower. That bar is piercing arrow. Getting
Pretty slow Baron.
As long as he's charging it off to the side. Alvaro just trying to make space. Baron going down in favor of MDK. Well played from the Mad Lions Koi support. But G2 are now going to
Staying alive is going to be very difficult, though.
Finding Super. Broken Blade off to the side. Looking to eliminate Elyoya in the 1v1. Mad Lions Koi quick on the retreat. It is Baron for 2 kills in favor of G2.
And G2 managed to get there just after Baron goes down. 2 kills. It's more of a case of how much can G2 get off the back of this as well. They should be able to get the mid lane tower. BB pushing in that top side. 30-second death timers means that will more than likely just be the mid lane tower. But it's an answer back for G2.
A fantastic decision by MDK. The G2 have to scramble back to try and punish. While they are able to get 2 kills, the fact that this Baron is taken off the board means that G2 is very limited in what they can actually get. They steal a few camps, but MDK with the Baron firmly plant themselves in this game 3.
And again, it's the fact that Supa ended up getting caught there by Mickey as he comes through. Supa goes down. Great positioning by BB to immediately turn on to Elyoya. 2 big threats eliminated from the fight. And this is the thing with Madeline Koi's draft. It is very, very squishy. So if these fights end up very separated, it's going to be so tough. And Caps, beautiful stuff to get Supa there. Coming in from the top side and then falls back to deal with the other threat of the Belvez.
I mean, it was simply a matter of get as many Barons as we can in that final fight. G2 were able to get back out onto the map, but Yike now has an opportunity to spend his gold. He's picked up his 3rd item. But MDK, they don't care. They know they have the Baron buff.
What was the replay? It was Caps' perspective.
And they will begin their siege. They're pushing in mid.
That's the only thing they can give you anymore, guys, because of the budget cuts and the staff firing, is they can either give you a replay of exactly what you just saw, but slightly slower, or they've got player replays that are recording on their PCs. They can't give you different angles, nothing like that.
Power play entirely mitigated by G2's follow-up push and team fight. Everyone wants to get more here, but the waves aren't really synced. As a result, we'll just have to settle for poking away.
That's it. That's all we get anymore, guys.
On the bottom side,
the budgets have been cut.
An opportunity for MDK to try and punish Frescowi. Ready to set up the Weaver's Wall.
16's very close for Broken Blade and Mirwin. Getting all 3 points in your ultimate. It's a lot of extra damage coming into these team fights.
Root out onto Alvaro. Weaver's wall now coming in, but there's no immediate follow-up. G2 grouped as 5. They're just a ball of death. And Mad Lions Koi do not have the firepower to fight back. Caps committing the ulti. Will not connect. G2 now on the hunt because yike! Here he comes, taking the form of Alvaro and turning it back as Suba is picked off. Now the Senna stolen away. Can start to
These team fights.
Root out onto Alvaro. Weaver's wall now coming in, but there's no immediate follow-up. G2 grouped as 5. They're just a ball
Why does this blast cone despawn?
of death. And Mad Lions Koi do not have the firepower to fight back. Caps committing the ulti. Will not connect. G2 now on the hunt because yike! Here he comes, taking
What?
the form of Alvaro and turning it back as Suba is picked off. Now the Senna stolen away. Can start to heal up the backline. Broken Blade chasing forward, fishing for the stun, desperate to get it on a Frescali, but there is the TP. Here comes Caps. He might not have flash, but he is ready to go. Committing onto Mirwin. G2 find the opportunity, find the fight. Mirwin now running, but yike will not be
That's very. I've never seen that before. Is this a Chemtech soul bug? I mean, Alvaro is dead here. The thing is, Alvaro is dead here, right? So the play's kind of dead. Like the Baron play's kind of dead at this point in time anyway. But picking up extra kills certainly doesn't hurt.
Chasing forward, fishing for the stun, desperate to get it on a Frescali, but there is the TP. Here comes Caps. He might not have flash, but he is ready to go. Committing onto Mirwin. G2 find the opportunity, find the fight. Mirwin now running, but yike will not be denied. He wants more, and Caps will take the shutdown.
The Weaver's wall was not a friend. It kept Mirwin out of the fight, and it meant that G2 could take.
Whereas here immediate follow-up. G2 group.
It did actually definitely keep Mirwin out of this fight.
In your ultimate. It's a lot of extra damage coming into these team fights.
Root out onto Alvaro. Weaver's wall now coming in, but there's no immediate follow-up. G2 grouped as 5. They're just a ball of death.
He did get the equalizer in though. I'm not sure how much he would have helped. He didn't have flash to actually engage there, so I don't even know if he could have gotten there. I guess he could have. He could have big blast coned in. That probably would have helped a lot.
Will not connect. G2 now on the hunt because yike! Here he comes, taking the form of Alvaro and turning it back as Suba is picked off. Now the Senna stolen away. Can start to heal up the backline. Broken Blade chasing forward, fishing for the stun, desperate to get it on a Frescali, but there is the TP. Here comes Caps. He might not have flash, but he is ready to go. Committing onto Mirwin. G2 find the opportunity, find the fight. Mirwin now running, but yike will not be denied. He wants more, and Caps
that advantage versus Mad Lions Koi, and once again G2 finding these small advantages. You'll see this we come into this. Watch the wall from Frescali. Mirwin gets stuck and can't come into the fight, so it ends up as a 4 versus 5, and from that point forward Mad Lions Koi are running from the hills as G2 are able to take the fight in the front to back.
Mirwin, that ultimate being unavailable was so much damage lost in such a narrow choke point. It could have been such a difference maker, but G2, they didn't care. They used Alvaro against his own team. And I mean, it's just a bunch of junglers that Yike has played before. Rel into Talia. This is his playground. And he is having fun with Mad Lions Koi right now.
Can a coach call for a remake if they see a bug like that? I don't think so. I think the players have to pause the game. I think the players have to notice it.
That will eventually respond by that blue buff. It has been involved in essentially every major play in this game. Caps waiting to the side. Looking for the shuffle, looking for the drift. Instant flash out. Caps can they get the punish back? Knockup is there. Caps going golden. Flip back should be clean. Coming in from Frescali with the flash out of safety means it didn't quite connect. Beer went off to the side trying to keep Broken Blade out, but he's just giving his own life. And in the meantime, here comes Yike. 8-1 and 10 looking to get a little bit more done. Elioya, nice sidestep. Flip back is big onto Hansama, but Elioya just doesn't have the follow-up. The Viego just continues to take over the game.
It's a double kill for Caps. Frescali, he's gonna have to use the ultimate to get out. Will it be interrupted? Oh, Mickey commits the flash, but it's not quite enough.
Still gonna get Chemtech Soul here.
Understand that the last two,
Often with Caps being able to flash away from this, he
in the favor of G2. yes, Mad Lions Koi got that Baron, but they're going to need more Barons if they want to come back in this one.
And you can see it looks so close for Mad Lions Koi so often, but Cap's been able to flash away from this. He went golden to stop the flick back, and then that's all the damage from the Talia. BB is able to get onto Mirren to take him out of the fight. And
It's really well played by G2. You know, even though that was obviously pretty devastating, I think that even without that blast cone, the pick onto Alvaro, you know, stops the Baron push as it is, and G2 is just, I mean, this Viego is so fucking big at this point in time. With the composition that G2 has, like, the reset is almost impossible to stop, I think.
The second that Alvaro disappears, the front line disappears as well, and it just becomes reset central for Yike.
And a huge amount of it has to be separating the fights, and they just can't do it because G2 are coming in from every which way.
TP topside, Broken Boy here to back up, make sure that no one gets picked off. Shepherd them in, hook onto Alvaro, solid start, Broken Boy going in and instantly finding everybody he needs to. Frescowie getting cut down, that's one reset coming in, and now it's the opportunity for Yike to take over.
The damage and flanks are just too good. I mean, the Kennen pick was really good here, I think, for G2. As we talked about, like, they drafted around the early Talia picks super nicely, I think. The combo of the Nautilus and the Kennen has really worked for them. Now it's just ready to close.
To shut down Mad Lions Koi.
Match point.
Of this game.
All right, last game.